High blood pressure? These foods might be silently harming you. Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about a very important health topic that affects a large portion of the population: high blood pressure, also known as hypertension. According to sources, approximately 45% of adults in the United States have high blood pressure. This condition can significantly increase the risk of heart disease, strokes, and many other health problems. The good news is that high blood pressure is treatable. One of the most powerful tools we have to control it is our diet. What we eat and drink plays a crucial role in maintaining healthy blood pressure levels. In this video, we'll explore some of the foods and beverages that can contribute to high blood pressure and, just as importantly, the healthier alternatives we can choose. Let's start with what might be the number one enemy: sodium. Sodium, the main ingredient in salt, can raise blood pressure. When there's too much sodium in the bloodstream, it draws water into the blood vessels, increasing blood volume and therefore blood pressure over time. The problem is that many people consume too much sodium without even realizing it. That's because sodium is found in excessive amounts in many processed and fast foods. Sources state we should consume less than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day, about the amount in just 1 teaspoon of table salt. Your healthcare provider might even recommend less. It's crucial to read nutrition labels. Even foods we consider healthy, like vegetable juice, can be high in sodium. Don't rely only on taste. Some condiments that don't taste salty can still contain high sodium levels. Let's talk about some hidden sources of sodium mentioned in the sources. Condiments like ketchup, chili sauce, soy sauce, and salad dressings. Just 1 tablespoon of ketchup can provide 8% of your recommended daily sodium intake, while 1 tablespoon of soy sauce can deliver a staggering 38%. 2 tablespoons of barbecue sauce may contain up to 13%. The recommendation is to check packaging and look for low sodium or low sugar versions. Processed cheese, even if it's low in calories or high in protein, it may be high in sodium. Half a cup of cottage cheese, for example, contains 350 milligrams of sodium, 16% of the recommended daily limit. Other processed cheeses include yellow cheese, cheese dressings, and canned or spray cheese. Healthier options include milk, yogurt, cream cheese, and mozzarella. Cereal. Despite health claims on packaging, some cereals can significantly add to your daily sodium intake, contributing up to 9% of the daily recommended value per cup. Canned products. Canned vegetables or beans are convenient but often come with added sodium. Half a cup of canned green beans may provide 13% of the daily recommended intake. A great strategy is to choose low sodium or no salt added versions, or rinse canned foods to remove about 20% of the sodium. Frozen vegetables without sauces or cheese are another great option, as they generally have no added salt. Frozen meals. These ready-to-eat meals often contain high sodium levels. A meal with just 320 calories could have 790 milligrams of sodium, that's 34% of the daily recommended value. Other common high-salt foods include pizza, bread, sandwiches, and burgers. The best way to reduce sodium is to avoid packaged and pre-made meals. Cooking dried beans and peas, using low-sodium soups or salt-free broths, and avoiding adding table salt are all helpful steps. Remember, foods with 140 milligrams or less of sodium per serving are considered low sodium. Another food group that can affect blood pressure is red meat. The process of metabolizing red meat in the body can release compounds that further elevate blood pressure. One study mentions that for every 50 grams of beef, lamb, or pork consumed, the risk of coronary heart disease increases by 9%. Processed meats like bacon, ham, and sausages appear to be even worse, with an 18% risk increase for every 50 grams consumed. A recommended meat portion is about 3 ounces, 85 grams, but it's easy to eat much more in one sitting. For example, a large steak in a restaurant might weigh between 9 and 12 ounces, 255 to 340 grams. Fortunately, poultry like chicken and turkey do not appear to be associated with an increased risk of coronary disease. In recent decades, ultra-processed food consumption has skyrocketed. Several studies suggest a strong link between increased consumption of ultra-processed foods and a higher risk of hypertension, especially among adults aged 18 to 60. These foods often contain high levels of sodium and include examples like soft drinks, candy, packaged snacks, pasta, cold cuts, and artificial condiments. The impact of these foods on blood pressure may be the cumulative result of a long-term diet high in them. Besides these foods, we must pay attention to high fructose corn syrup, which is found in processed desserts, pre-cooked meals, crackers, granola or nutrition bars, and peanut butter. It's advisable to check labels and choose products without this ingredient. Caffeine can also temporarily raise blood pressure, sometimes causing very high readings. If you're trying to limit your intake, consider drinking less regular coffee or switching to decaf. To see if you're sensitive to caffeine, you can monitor your blood pressure before and after consuming it. If it increases by 5 to 10 points, you might be sensitive. If you have a history of dangerously high blood pressure, you should talk to your doctor about reducing or eliminating caffeine. If you decide to cut back, do it gradually over several days to avoid withdrawal headaches. Limiting or avoiding these foods is important, but it's equally vital to include foods that help lower blood pressure. Following a varied, nutrient-rich diet is key. Sources mention that a diet higher in minimally processed foods is associated with a reduction in systolic blood pressure. The DASH diet, for example, is often recommended for lowering blood pressure. It's based on eating more vegetables, fruits, and low-fat dairy products while reducing intake of saturated fats and salt. This meal plan includes daily servings of whole grains, vegetables, fruits, low-fat dairy, lean meats, and weekly servings of nuts, seeds, and legumes. Studies show that following the DASH diet can lower blood pressure within weeks. The Mediterranean diet, rich in legumes, whole grains, and vegetables, using herbs and spices for flavor, is also linked to cardiovascular benefits. When reading labels, in addition to sodium, pay attention to serving size, since all the information is based on that. The calorie information tells you how many calories are in one serving. Check total carbohydrates, which include sugars, starch, and fiber. Fiber is important. Look for foods with at least 3 to 4 grams per serving. Also check total fat, with special attention to saturated and trans fats. Trans fats, often found in snacks, desserts, and fast food fries, raise bad cholesterol and lower good cholesterol. Look for foods that are low or free of trans fats, 1 gram or less. The percent daily value on the label is based on a 2,000 calorie diet, which may differ for you. Making dietary changes can feel overwhelming, but the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute recommends doing it gradually. You can start by cutting out one unhealthy food each week or by eating smaller portions of foods you know aren't the healthiest. Beyond diet, other lifestyle changes can also help reduce blood pressure and improve heart health. These include quitting smoking, achieving or maintaining a healthy weight, finding stress management strategies, like meditation or journaling, and getting enough exercise. If needed, you can start small and gradually increase physical activity. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, you should always consult your doctor if you suspect you have high blood pressure, if your levels remain elevated despite lifestyle and diet changes, if your blood pressure keeps rising, or if you experience medication side effects. You can also talk with your doctor about blood pressure medication if necessary. In summary, high blood pressure is a serious health risk, but it's treatable. Adopting a varied, nutrient-rich diet is a powerful strategy to help reduce it and minimize the risk of serious heart problems. Paying attention to food labels, limiting sodium, red and processed meats, ultra-processed foods, high fructose corn syrup, and if needed, caffeine, while incorporating more fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and low-fat dairy, can make a big difference in your cardiovascular health. Taking care of your blood pressure is taking care of your heart and your overall well-being. Start making small changes today.